Hi, this is a complete tutorial of French pronunciation and reading. So in this tutorial you will learn about all the all the sounds which exist in French and which we make with the help of five vowels: U, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, and the sixth vowel which is semi-vowel Y, which is a semi-vowel. So with these five or six vowels we can make many other sounds which exist in French. So we learn about all of these sounds in French. But we'll start first with French alphabet, which is given just down. You can also, if you want, you can download this. You can there is a link which is given, so you can download this same sheet from there. Okay, so we'll start here with the French alphabet. So the first word you will learn in French is alphabet. This is not alphabet, but because T is not pronounced, why we will learn just later when we learn about the pronunciation. So alphabet. So the first letter in French alphabet is A. You can see I have given the table on the left side. You can see I have given the English sound, and on the right side if you can read Hindi, I have written also in Hindi. Okay, but if you cannot read Hindi, that's okay, because I have given on in English also. So the first letter is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So this is a sound which exists in which is very different in French than in English. So J and G, they are not pronounced G and J, but J and G. So it is, we can say, inverted, and also the sound is different, like it is not J but J. Okay, so you have to learn this sound also. So J, so J, G is J and J is G. The next sound is ash. Next letter is ash. E, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. This is another letter. In fact, there are two letters which are very different than English. Than in English, Q and U, they are not pronounced Q and U, but Q and U. The exact pronunciation I will teach you just after in the table when we come to the this sound. Okay, but as for now, Q and U. So Q, R. So the next sound which is very different in French is R or R. R. In Hindi you can see I have written R. R is like in Arabian or Russian language. It is not exactly the same sound as in French also. It is softer in fact, so we pronounce it like R. It is not R but R. It is, we can say, softer. So if you can learn this sound, that's well and good, but if you cannot learn, if you find it, at least in the starting, if you find it difficult, so you can continue pronouncing it like R as in English, because even in south of France there is a big population which pronounce it like, who pronounce them this letter like R. Okay, so if you continue, that's okay, but if you can learn, that's well and good. So the next sound is S, T. One thing I just forgot to tell you when we pronounce like they and they, it is different, or we can say softer than in English. It is not D and T, but they and they. Okay. Then the second letter as Q is U. Okay, we just learn later. V and W. So W is like in English we call it double U, double U. In English, in French it is not double U but double. We can say the translation is double V. Okay, if you don't know, the sound of the pronunciation of these two letters is different. So V is pronounced with the teeth and the lip, as you can see my lip with the teeth like V, but W is pronounced as W, like we have a letter in English which is V, W-E, V. It is not V but V. Okay, so this is these are two different sounds, V and V and W. Okay, so you have to remember this. W is not V. So these are if you find in a word, these two pronunciation are different. And then we come to next letter is X, Y. Y is like E. We just learned here E. So E and Y, they are pronounced very much same. So whenever you find Y as a vowel in a word, you have to pronounce it similarly as E. So there is no difference between these two letters, even if it is called Y. So this is the name Y. Okay, but when it's a consonant, it is pronounced as in English also, like Y is pronounced Ya, which is a consonant. Okay, the last letter in French is Z. Z. So here also you can see they is pronounced like the and not the, like in English. So Z. Okay, so this is the alphabet. First you have to learn this, then we come to all the sounds which exist in French, and which we make with the help of five vowels A, E, I and U. So above you can see in every column you can see there is a sound which is written in Hindi, but if you cannot read that sound in English also, I have written the similar sound which exists in English. Okay, so there are three sounds which are very much similar. I will just simplify as for now. So we'll call them like in Hindi or in English E in the letter the. Okay, so it is very similar to this sound or the. So U, which is also pronounced o, u. When you see these three vowels together, pronounce them also. Okay, so these three sounds are pronounced So here I have given some examples. So with m is pronounced m, l, t, t. Then you have second sound u. So j, is je. Okay. Then eur, p, peur, which means afraid, to be afraid. Then you have this third sound o, of, then f. So of. Then the next letter is buff. So o, is then b, buff, buff. Okay. So that's how we pronounce these three sounds, which are not exactly but as for now, just to simplify for the starting, you can pronounce them like and there is no problem. Even if you talk to a French person, he will understand you very well. Then later on you can learn the exact pronunciation of these three letters. If you want, I can also put a video about these pronunciation of these three letters, these three sounds. If you want, you can ask me and I will put another video. Okay, so the next column, second column, is A. Like in Hindi you can see, or even in English like A. Okay, A-H, A. So whenever you see these the letter A with accent or without accent, you have to pronounce it like A. So A without any accent, then with an accent which is called accent grave. So okay, just a moment. No, it's not working. Okay. So this accent is called accent grave. Okay. So there are some other letters like E. We use this letter, this accent also. This is also accent grave because later on we learn that N become on. So accent and T remains silent. T remains silent. So accent grave, but don't worry, we'll just learn later on. And grave. And the second accent, which is also very important, is no this one. A. So this accent is called accent aigu. So again here accent aigu. Okay. So aille become a and gu. So aigu, and in French there is a word which is called liaison. Okay, liaison. Liaison means we can say a kind of link between two words when the first word ends with a consonant and the second word starts with a vowel. We link them. So like here we can say accent aigu. Like here I said it is pronounced accent grave because t was silent, but when the second letter starts with vowel, then we pronounce it te, accent aigu. Okay, so this is called liaison. Okay, and then the third accent, which is very important also in French, is accent circonflexe. So as for pronunciation, don't worry, I will teach you later how to pronounce all these sounds. But this is called accent grave, accent aigu, et accent circonflexe. These are main three accents which are used in French. So remember them also. So we come back. Okay, so accent grave, accent circonflexe, and with an ash also. So a without any accent, but with and with accents, and then ash. So all of them are pronounced a, like you can see at the top. So the examples, some of the examples I have taken here. Car, car, ca, together they become ka and r. So car. Ga, ga, r, gar, a, which is itself a word which means two words, to. Okay, ta, sh. So this is a word which is written differently in these two words, like where you can see is without any accent, and in the second letter, second word, it is with accent, accent circumflex. Both are pronounced similar, so tash. Just to know what this means, when it is with an accent, it means a work, and when it is without any accent, that means it is a dot. Okay, so these two, so all these sounds are pronounced a. Okay, we can come to the next sound, e. So e, as you can see in Hindi or in English, like ea, like in beat. Okay, so whenever you see e or y, as I told you, they are similar. So you have to pronounce it like e. Some examples: C, C, C. Sir, as we have just learned, say becomes sir, C. A, me, P, P, Y is pronounced P. Ja, ma. So P, ja, ma. Okay, so these are some of the examples with E and Y. The next sound is U. So in English, you can see there is a sound which we make with double O, but in French we make it with OU. Okay, so OU without any accent, but here you can see with accent grave, OU, then OUT, because at the end of word normally all the consonants remain silent. So OUT, OUX, so these are pronounced U. Okay, and then I will just come later for this sound also. Okay, so U, U, OU, U, OU, that means or, the word or, which means which is for the comparison of two words, or when you have with accent, OU means where, WHERE, okay, where, U, POU, poo, or POUX, poo also, and then this this sound OUE. So OUE. So but we pronounce it like we. It is completely same, exactly the same sound as the word we. Okay. So we. This is also a word itself, which means yes. We means yes. Okay. So next sound is a. So whenever you see this accent, as I said, this is accent aigu. Accent aigu is A. And when you see at the end of a word er, it is also A. T, it is also A. S, A. S, T, A. Z, it is also pronounced A. H, it is also pronounced A. So all these, whenever you see E with any of these consonants, it is pronounced A and not as I just told you. Okay, so normally these consonants are at the end of a word when they are silent. The last is aille. So whenever we see aille together, they become A. Okay, here also in English also it becomes bait, but in French also aille means aille is pronounced as A. So some of the examples here. So be, okay, bebe, which means of course baby. A, a, which means and, and. Et, which means summer. Este, which means is, the verb is. I am, you are, he is. Okay. So este, a. Then parler, as I said, ez is also at the end of the word pronounced as a. So parler. Then the sound ai, may. So parler means to talk or to speak, and mai, may, which is the fifth month, May, the month May. Okay. The next sound is a, or in English like bat. Okay. So accent grave and accent circonflexe. So both of them are pronounced a. Then you also have at the end of the word res, a. Just remember that re is a and res, a, riet is a also. Okay. So whenever you see these combinations, you will pronounce them as a. Some of the examples. So here, élève, which means pupil. Père, which means father or papa. Fête, fête. Forêt. I will just later on I will tell you here. The next sound is o. In French, you do not pronounce it like o, but o. Okay. Forêt, forêt. Parler, parler, parler. It or is, they both are pronounced like parler, and which is the same verb like parler, 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 which are the same verb to talk or to speak. Okay. Then next sound is O, like in the word boat, boat. Okay, so as I said, you do not have to pronounce it like O but O. So whenever you see O, you have to pronounce them always O and not O. Okay, O. O simple, or O with accent circonflexe, OH, AU also together, A and U, they both together, they become O. AU also pronounced as O. So some of the examples: both, which means boot, both. In French, whenever you see double T, whenever any consonant which is used double T, you do not have to pronounce them twice. So which means I want to say that you do not pronounce it like both, okay, but as if it is a single letter, both, 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 which means boot. Hôpital, 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 O AU, they, which remains silent as I said at the end of a word normally. So show, say ash together, say and ash together, they become sh. So O, show, and they is silent, show. Plateau, you see, is O also. So to, plateau. So these are some of the examples of the sound O. Then we come to the next table, which is a bit complicated than the first table, which here you have only the simple sounds, but here it is a bit complicated. But once you learn them, it is also simple. So I in wife. So whenever you see REL, REL is I, like wife. Okay, so I in wife, so REL is I. And whenever you see double L or double deux L, aille, like in fire. Okay, there is a sound here. Here it finishes with E, wife, wife. Okay, I. But here it is aille, like in fire. So there is a sound y. Okay, aille. EL is aille, aille. Single L is aille, and double is aille, similar as in fire, aille. Then E double or EL, okay, E or E double or E, so both of them are E, and whenever it is E double E double L or double, as we say in French, which means two. Okay, double, double. So E, like in EA in beer. Okay, E, 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 E. Okay, and then it is another sound, OE, which becomes W, like in A in what. Okay, W. So some of the examples here you can see. REL, I, which means garlic, I. This is an exception, feel, where you do not have to pronounce it like REL, but feel. Okay, feel. In English you can see like feel. Then AEL, A, like here you can see an example, VI. VI is a masculine word, because in French, you know, all the words are masculine or feminine, as compared to in English, where you do not have these this connotation of masculine or feminine. VI, okay, which means old. so which is old for any masculine man or whatever is masculine. And the second sound aille, I deux L E, aille, vi aille, vi aille. Okay, so it becomes feminine here. So whenever you want to call a lady, old lady, for example, anything feminine, you will call it. You will write like vi aille. So vi and vi aille. Then il or I deux L E, I or ille. So fille, F I deux L E, which means fille, which means girl. An example, an exception here, which is written completely similar to fille, but it is pronounced as wheel, wheel. Okay. So wheel in Hindi or in English, wheel. Okay, which means city. Then the last example is O E L. So O which together become aille, aille, which means I. Okay, aille, I singular because plural is different than aille. Okay, so these are the sounds which come from these sound. So these are the examples. Okay, so the second was wa, OE, which become wa. So OE, wa, some examples. Roi, ROI, roi. BOI, boire, boire. Okay, boire. Then just after I will teach you that en become un. Okay, so we'll just learn that. But here you can see en is un. So oe is wa, but en is un. So oin. Oen is oin, and the word example is loen, loin, which means far, loin, far. Au revoir, au revoir. Okay, so which means bye or see you again. How it is pronounced will break into. So this is pronounced normally when you know in running speaking French, you pronounce it like au revoir. So whenever you want to say see you again in French, au revoir, you do not pronounce it like au revoir, even if you pronounce it like this, but in running language you do not pronounce it like au revoir. Okay, then I have taken an example here which is an exception. I have taken it just like that because I have seen many people who pronounce it like wa nyo. Here you can see jn together they become near. Okay, and o is wa, so now on is on. So I will just learn these sounds just after, but as for now, so it is not pronounced wa nyo, it is not pronounced as wa nyo but o nyo, as I have written it in Hindi or even in English, o nyo. Okay, it is not wa nyo but o nyo. So this is, we can say, a kind of exception to this oi sound, oe sound. It is not wa nyo but onio. Okay, so just remember it. Then the word u, as I told you, I told you just before that I will teach you how to pronounce it. So I have written how to pronounce it. U is pronounced as e with lips rounded, as if trying to pronounce u. Okay, so just look at my lips. Oo. You see, my lips are rounded like oo, as if I want to pronounce it oo, but I will pronounce e. It is a bit complicated as for starting, but once you learn it, that will be okay. So you pronounce e, but with the lips like oo. Okay. So just try to listen to me. U, u. Okay. U. It is not e, it is not oo, but u. You see, u. I hope it is clear to you. U. Okay. So it is that's how you have to pronounce this sound u. So just learn this sound, even if in the starting it seems complicated. Practice it as many times as you can, because you have to pronounce it. Because if you want to talk to a French person, you will find that if you pronounce it wrong, like you, he will not understand you very well. So try to learn it. So u, okay. So once you will catch it, then it will be okay. So there are some differences, not differences, but some other examples which are linked to this sound u. So I have taken them also. So the first example is tu. Tu means you. In French, you have two words like you formal, and you for friends or in family. Okay, like in Hindi you have the word tum. So tu. If you know Hindi, you have there are two words like tum and aap. So tu is like tum, and there is another word which is vous. Vous means aap. So you will learn later on when you learn French. So this sound is tu, as I told you, tu. Okay. Then there is a difference here. It is even more complicated than tu, but because there is an e later. So in this is a word which is word for 8. Okay, so you break this word in two words. So the first word is, I will just tell you later on, ash. Ash is always it remains always silent. You do not have to pronounce. You never pronounce it like her as in English. Okay, it is never her but as if it doesn't exist in word. Okay, so you. Then the second word is it. We. So u, as I told you, u, it. So huit, huit, huit. Okay, huit, which means this word means huit, 8, 8, the number 8. Okay, huit. Then the next sound is un. As we have an in the word elephant. Okay, un. I have written also in the just here. In French language, nasal can be separated like in English. So there is an example like this is a French word which means which is pronounced as contenu. Okay, you see, con. It is con. It is not con as in English. You the same word. The translation is content. Okay, so it is in English. It is con. You break. You separate the nasal sound from the vowel. So content. Okay, but in French, it is a nasal sound. Con. This is not con ou con. Okay, it is not contenu, but it's pronounced contenu, contenu. So just remember this sound, okay. So we come back here for the first nasal sound, fan, elephant. Even if I said it is like an in elephant, so it is an, the sound an, but it is pronounced not an but an. Okay. So whenever see in French, en is un. Em, which is also a nasal sound at the end of a word, em, or even in the middle of the word. Sorry. Okay, so en and em, they are both pronounced en. Then you have ren. Re, we just learned that re is a, but ren is en. Rem, en. En, en. Oem, en. Then you also have un. Un is also an. Okay, so all these sounds, and here also it continues an, un or So all of these sounds these combinations, whenever you see these combinations, you have to pronounce them as "an." Okay. Okay. So some examples. We'll see some examples here. Vin, vin. En is "un." So vin. Vin means wine. Then the second word is ren. So un, bain. Bain means bath. B-A-T-H in English, bath, bain. Then rem, it is also pronounced as un. So faim, which means hunger. Whenever we are hungry, we say j'ai faim, which means I am hungry, hungry or hunger. En, so plein, plein, P-L-E-N, plein. Plein means full, full, F-U-L-L, full. Then simple, it is not like in English simple, so it is also em is un, so simple. To simplify, we break this word into simple, simple, okay, simple. Un, which means one in English, in French, the number one, un. Then other example is brun, un, brun, brun. Okay. The next sound is on, on, as in font. The word font. Okay. Again here you do not have to separate the n with o from o. It is not in French. It is not font but font. We if this word exists in French, we will pronounce it font. Okay. So on, ons, on. As the consonants at the end of the word, they are silent. So on, ons, on, onte, on, onde, on. Om is also a nasal sound. So on. So whenever you have on or om, they are pronounced on. Okay. So examples, some examples, like there are two examples: nom, on, no, no, which means noun or name. Okay, name or noun, as the word in grammar. So no, which have two significations, like noun and name. Other one is no, on, no, which means no, the negative word, no. The next sound is on. As for example, the word want. So on, like in want, but again you do not have to separate it from the vowel. So on, an is on, am on, an on, am on, ans on, int on, ent on. Okay. So whenever you see any of these combinations, you will pronounce them as on, an, am, an, am, ins, int, ent. Okay. So for ent, I have just written down, but at the end of a word, n is an. It is not, n is not on. At the end of the word, it is not pronounced as on but an. Okay. So you have to remember that also. And any foreign word which come in English, at that time also it is pronounced as an, like the word Benjamin. So Benjamin, en is pronounced as an, but n is an, Benjamin. Okay, it is not again Benjamin, but Benjamin, or another word which is also foreign to French. It is penguin, penguin, penguin. You see, pen. So it is not pen, but pen, penguin. So these are two examples for any foreign words. But at the end of a word, n is pronounced as an. Okay. Okay, some examples. So an is on, which means ear. Ear, ear, Y-E-A-R, ear, en, tion, C-H-I-M-P. So as I told you, C-H together they become sh. I-M is en, so tion. P is silent. Tion means field. En, which means inside, in. So it is pronounced as en. T-O-M is ton, P-S, both of them are silent, so ton, okay. So in French language, I told you, okay, we have just talked about it. These are can't be separated like in English. Then the next sound is E. E with these two dots, which is called E tréma. Tréma, okay. So this is another accent. It is used to separate E from other vowel, okay. So like for example, we have learned that R, E, both of them together they become A. So M-R-E-S, it is pronounced as may, but if you see this accent E with E tréma, so you have to separate it from the first vowel. So it is pronounced mais, mais, okay. So it is not may as in the first word, but mais, mais, okay. Like in English also I will give an example, mice, okay, mice. Okay, all the consonants and at the end of a word are silent, as we have just learned from the starting, but except these four letters, four consonants, C, F, L, R. So these four letters, four consonants are normally always pronounced, okay. Only R is an exception, but you will learn that later. But normally C, F, L, R, all of them are pronounced at the end of the word. So for example, for the silent consonants, the examples are son. N is on, so son, and J is silent. Son, J is silent. Okay. Long, son means blood, blood. B-L-O-O-D, blood. Long, which means long. Okay. So long, J is silent. Dra, which means bedsheet. Dra, P is silent. Champ, we have just seen this word just above. Champ, okay. Champ, which means field. So champ, P is silent. Exprès, exprès, okay. Exprès, S is silent. Trois, O is O-I together, O-I. So T-R-O-I, trois, trois. S is silent. Some exceptions. Grog, grog, gros, gros. It is in the starting. It might be some difficult for you, but it's not too complicated. So gros, gros, grog. So J is not silent here. Cap, C-A-P, cap. Sleep, S-L-E-P, sleep. So P is not silent. Tennis, which is a foreign word, so tennis. So here S is not silent. And fees, F-E-L-S, fees, which means sun, beta, sun. Okay, so as I said that C-F-L-R, they are not silent. So some examples of them are bec, which means beak, B or C, bec. So C is not silent. Chef, you know, in kitchen, in cuisine, or in the hotels, the chef, the word chef, which is basically a French word. So F is not silent. Chef. Belle, B-O-L. So L is not silent. Belle, which means beautiful, but for masculine word. Okay. Mer, h. R is not silent. Mer means sea. Mer. Okay, so CL, CFLR, they are not silent in most of the cases. As I said, some of the exceptions for these consonants which are not silent, but there are not so many exceptions in French as compared to English. So even if sometimes you pronounce them by mistake, silent, so that won't be a big mistake in fact. So but if you remember that, that's very good, because for the exception you have to learn the exact word. So all the words where there's an exception, you have to learn them. Okay, so the next letter we just talk a bit about this letter is ash. Okay, so ash is not pronounced in French, so it is always silent. There can be two cases. Okay, okay, ash is not pronounced in French. It can be silent or aspirated. So there are two cases in French as we call them silent or aspirated. Silent means it can be linked with another word before it, like there is an example, le, om. Le means the, as in English, the definite pronoun, the. So le, le, om, which means man. So together they become l'homme, because ash here is silent. Okay, so l'homme. When it is aspirated, it can't be linked. Example, la ash. So ash means aches. So la is like le but feminine. So it is a definite pronoun, but for feminine words, because ash is an a feminine word. Okay, la ash. So here you cannot like here you cannot link it like la ash lash. Okay, so la ash, it remain separated. Okay, but you have to know that silent or aspirated, both of them are pronounced and not her. Okay, so even if, because I have seen many people and sometime even some French teacher, they pronounce it her. So they say that whenever it is aspirated, you have to pronounce it her, and no. In both of the cases, it is pronounced as if it doesn't exist. So whenever it is like exceptions, it is the same thing. In fact, for ash, you have to learn by heart all words in French starting with ash. So you have to know them by heart if it is silent or aspirated ash. Okay, so that's all for this. Then we come to two letters, two consonants, C and J. Okay, C and J. These are two particular letters because the sound can be according to the vowels. It can be different. So you have also to remember them. So C is whenever it is followed by A, O, or U, they are pronounced K. Okay. Okay. Uh, so whenever it is followed by A or U, it is pronounced as K. But when it is followed by A or E, then it is pronounced as S. Okay, so it is very simple. If you just remember, there are only 5 vowels, and when it is followed by these three vowels, it will be pronounced as ka, and when a or e, it is pronounced as s. There is also a variation of s. It is just to pronounce se a as sa. Okay, so there is a sound sign here which is called, this sign is called in French cédille, cédille. Okay, so I will just show you, making it a bit bigger. You see, I don't know if you can see it. So this sign just below the letter C. Okay, so this is called cédille. So whenever C is written with cédille, it is always pronounced as sir and not k. Okay, as we have seen just before. Okay, so se, cédille, a is pronounced as sa and not ka, as we have just seen. Okay, so some examples: car. Okay, I will also write it: car, sa. Okay, sa, balcon, balcon, to remember how it is pronounced. Okay, so car, which means because, car. Okay, sa, which means that, balcon, which is a word for balcony in French, balcon, balcony, leçon, it is not pronounced, you see, it is not pronounced le con but leçon, because there is a cédille below C. So leçon, which means lesson. Recuit, which means recooked. Recooked. Okay, recuit, as we have just learned, it is pronounced as recuit. Recuit. T is silent. Okay. So the second letter is J. So here the same problem. The same three vowels, A, O, U, when it remains G. Okay. G. C. Okay. So it is pronounced as ga, G-A, ga, G-O, go, G-U, gu. Okay, and when it is followed by a or e, it is pronounced as je. Okay, je, ji. So the same vowels. So j becomes je and g, and j becomes g when it is followed by a, o, u. And also whenever in French there is a word when we want it to be pronounced as g, we add u before e. Okay, because j, you see, je is gi, or je is sorry, je is g and je is je, but when it is when we add a letter u, it is g. Okay, so je u is g. So there is an example: mono, for example, dialogue. Okay, so in dialogue you will not pronounce u. It is just to say that j is pronounced as g and not je. Okay, so this is pronounced dialogue. Okay, and same applies for it, jue. Here it is gi and not g. So it is just to say that g is pronounced, je is pronounced as g, and jue, so gi, and not je and g. Okay, so we add a letter u between these two letters. So some examples: garage, ja, ga. So it is a good example also, because in the same word you can see both of the sounds, ga, je. Okay, ga, ra, je. So j is je, ga, j is ga, garage. Okay, so it means garage as in English. Okay, garçon, 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 which means boy. gap. So you see here, this is an example where u is not pronounced, but just to say that j and is g and not j, so gap. Okay. Then another example is gue, gi, guillotine. So as I told you that e deux l is ille, but e deux l o is pronounced as io. Okay, guillot. So e deux l is not pronounced at il, but ille, guillotine. Okay, guillotine. Then the next word is original. Original, which means original. The same word as we find in English also. Original. Okay. So like in English, we don't have to make silent in some of the vowels like original, but we have to pronounce every vowel like original. 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 Okay. Then some other sounds which can create some confusion. That's why I have taken them. So the say, whenever you have the say or double c, the say, it is pronounced as k when it is followed by a. Okay. So occasion, occasion as in English also occasion. Okay, occasion. But when it is followed by e, so as we have learned that say e is c, so it becomes accident. It is not accident. It might create some time confusion. I don't know if somebody can get confused or no, but just to be clear that the first letter is always k, so occasion, occasion, accident. Okay. Then ch is sh. We have seen many times in many examples just above. So ch is sh. So chapeau. We have learned this sound. So chapeau, chapeau, which means hat. Chapeau. Okay. Ph is fur as in English, so there is no confusion. Just to be clear that ph is fur. Photo, photo. Okay. Photo. Jn, we have also seen this combination. Jn is pronounced as near. Near. Okay. So you do not have to pronounce j, but near, like near. Okay. So near. One example is a new. We break it. I will just break it into. So is o as we have learned. So jn is near. So new. Agneau. Agneau means lamb. Okay. Agneau. There is. I will just add another example. Montagne. So this word is pronounced as montagne. I don't know. Sometime I have seen some people pronouncing is as montagne. I don't know why they pronounce it like this. It is very clear that jn is near, so montagne. Okay, we can break in three syllables. So montagne, 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 which means mountain, montagne. Then there is another thing as compared to English, so it might create for long also confusion. So this is pay, which is followed by son when it is silent in English, but in French it is always pronounced. P is always pronounced in the starting of a word, unlike English. So this is pronounced as, I will break it also to make it clear. Psycho. So I said say ash is sure, but say o is ko. So ash is silent here. So it is pronounced as ko, not show. Psychologie. G is G. Okay. So here we can say o is like silent. So it is not pronounced G. Psychologie, which means psychology. Okay. Then the second sound example is pneumonia. I will break this word also so it is pneumonia. Pneumonia. So you can see that as in English, psychology or pneumonia, you have to pronounce P in those words or any other word if it exists, then you have to pronounce P in those words. Okay. So okay. So we'll continue. Then some complications which can come in S also. Because sometime S is pronounced as sir, as the sound sir, or it can also be pronounced as z. Okay. So S is pronounced at the starting of or before a consonant. It is pronounced as sir. Okay, so you can see senior. So in the starting you will pronounce it as senior, which means sign. Okay, senior. Jn is near, so you remember senior. And between two before a consonant. Sorry. So whenever it comes before a consonant, it is pronounced also sir. So least. So least in English it is least. But when it is between two vowels, then it is pronounced as z. So rose, rose means flower, rose or pink color. For both of them we use this word rose. Okay. So these are the two sounds. So at the starting or before consonant it is pronounced as s, or between two vowels it is pronounced as z, z. Okay. Then another letter is x. So x has different sounds also. So whenever it comes in the middle of a word like tax, it is pronounced as x, tax. Okay, x, like as we pronounce it, x. So tax. But at the end of a word in English, sorry, in French, like these two words, which are two numbers, like six, sex, six. So here it is pronounced as s. Six means six, the number six. Okay. So this word and this word also, dex, this is pronounced as this. Okay. So six, these. Okay. In fact, both of these both of these words can be pronounced as C or D also. That means X becomes silent at that time, and it is also pronounced like C. So there is no difference. Both are correct. In fact, C's or C, and these or these or the. Okay, but when you pronounce when you want to pronounce it, you will pronounce it like s, cis or these. Okay. Then the third sound is z, z. So in the starting and sometime also between two vowels. Okay. So in the starting, like here, x, y. So it is z. So it is pronounced as xylophone. Okay. Xylophone between two vowels. It is can be pronounced as eggs. Okay, it is not x but exact, egg. So we can say, to be clear, exact. Okay, so that you can understand the real pronunciation of this word exact in Hindi or in English. Exact at the end with the liaison. So as I said, that cis is in the word cis. It is pronounced as sir, but whenever there is a liaison, that means it is linked with the next word, then we call it saison. So then it becomes z, saison. Okay. how can I say, okay, maybe like this, so that it remains clear. Saison, okay, saison. So it is not cis but saison, z, okay. Okay, then we continue. So tion in English also we pronounce it like nation. So nation, but in French it is pronounced as tion. Okay, so tion is tion when it is followed by a vowel. So nation, nation, following, it is, there's a mistake, followed by a vowel, okay, followed by a vowel, it is pronounced as tion, okay. So nation. And then we have stion when it is followed by a consonant, then stion. So I will, how can I make it clear? Okay, I will repeat it. Okay, stion, stion, stion. Okay, stion. So like here is an example: question, question, which means question, question. Okay, and then we have the last thing here, the letter Q. So we have already learned how to pronounce this letter, but there is a particularity about this word in English also, but less. But in French, it is like a rule that Q is always used with U. Okay, so Q U E, and U is, but U is not pronounced. Okay. So it is just to say that it is because Q with U. Okay, so K. This is a word which means that, you know, to link to two sentences. I don't know how to say that. He told me that, you know, this word that. So this means K means that, to link two sentences, and another word is K, which means Q. So in fact, the English word Q comes from French, Q. So both of them are pronounced same, K or K. There's a difference, but they are both pronounced similar. Okay, Q. So K means queue or line. Okay, so just to say that Q is always uh, followed by U, and it can never exist in French without U, without any pronunciation of U. Okay, so that's all for all the pronunciations of French. I hope that you have liked my lesson, my tutorial. If you have any confusion, you can ask me. You just in the description here, just below the description in the comments, you can ask me, and I will try to reply you. And also I have in the starting also I have told you that the all this sheet has been given as a PDF file in the description, so you can click on that to get this file, so that you can learn all these sounds in that file. Okay, and please tell me also how you like my video. Don't forget to write in the comments, and also please, if you like my video, you can also subscribe to my video, so that you do not miss any other video I will put later on. Okay, so thank you very much.